Hello. All right. It is 1:56. I'm here in Southern California, doing a little LPU chat. Welcome to the chat room, everyone. And a lot of chaos in this little bar down here. But if it's your first time in the chat, that's awesome. Thanks for being here. If not, you've been here a lot. Welcome back. If you're Mark Fiore, stop texting me. Okay. I guess what I'm going to try and do is answer some questions for you guys. Again, it will be difficult to reply to everybody, but I'll do my best. I'll make an honest, concerted effort. And yeah, so let's get this thing started. Amber the Chaotic, how much was your hat? This hat right here, I believe I didn't purchase. I believe I acquired it. So it was actually, as far as I'm concerned, it was free. Great question, though. Also, I had talked about potentially tweeting while on the chat, so I may be doing that as well to take some questions from there. Let's see. Moving to the bottom. Mr. Jake, when's the next single coming out? It's a great question. I know, just to answer it up front, we're going to be getting a lot of questions, or I'm going to be getting a lot of questions on the progress of the work we're doing with the album, as well as singles, that kind of thing. Let me just tell you that we're working hard and we've made some good progress, and we're hoping to get a record out as soon as possible, which would mean a new single would be out sooner than possible. All right. I don't know if that makes any sense for you, but any idea of where we'll be touring in Europe? Not exactly sure myself yet. We're meeting next week to start looking over some scheduling, so we'll probably know at a better point then, but I'm sure we'll be in a lot of the places we've played in the past, and hopefully we'll get to a couple new ones where we haven't gotten a chance to play as much. But yet to be determined. Alex asked, will we be touring in the Midwest of the United States? I would say yes. We'll definitely be doing some U.S. touring as well coming up. Okay. Scotty Daniels, Phoenix, did you pull any pranks on anybody at the Thousand Suns tour? If you did, who was it? I'm always messing with Mike. Mike's probably one of my favorite people in the world to pull pranks with and mess with, but I can't necessarily remember any good ones at the moment. Is Linkin Park Greatest Hits a real album? Asked by LP Fan 11. No. To my knowledge, we do not have a Greatest Hits album. So anything you see with that would not be, in fact, ours or put out by us. All right. I'm very impressed with the questions. For the most part so far, they've been very good. Frala asks, do you listen to Avenged Sevenfold? I do. I like Avenged Sevenfold a lot. I'm surprised at this point that we really haven't toured with them yet. All we've kind of done is play some different festival shows and things like that here and there with them. But most of those guys actually are from Southern California, and it's kind of funny. I bump into them every now and then just in the area. But that would be something that I think would be really cool to do. Good chance to tour with them. Where are you now? Sasha C.H. Carr writes. Sorry. I'm in Southern California, in my home studio, specifically. And Rennie LP asks, can we know how will be the new sound of the new album like? The new sound of the new album, being that we're still kind of in the midst of working on it, it's definitely coming together in a lot of different ways, and I feel like when you're at that stage in working on a record, it can take all different kinds of directions. So to speak to what it'll sound like now when we're done wouldn't mean anything. Having said that, I think we're pushing ourselves in new directions and definitely experimenting with new things, new sounds, and looking for new inspiration in our songwriting. So this record, I feel, will definitely be, again, different than other things we've done in the past. And for me, it's the process has been exciting, and it's been fun to be in that creative mode with it. So I'm really looking forward to how it turns out. A-Line asks, your favorite European, what is my favorite European soccer team? If you want to go continental Europe, that's a tough question for me. If you want to include the English Premier League, then I'd have to say Manchester United, but only because I know that upsets a lot of people. The caveat is, growing up, that's the only thing we had on television. We didn't have options for obviously going to games and in a lot of cases for watching other teams even play. So that was the team. That was the only one that was shown, and to watch it when I was growing up playing soccer, you had to be staying up till 2 in the morning to watch these games. So that was the team I liked. Having said that, when we get a chance to be over in England, especially when we're in London, we've gotten a chance to go see Arsenal play. I've gotten to see Tottenham play a bunch, and I love going to their games. Craven Cottage is awesome. Gotten to see Chelsea play. All good stuff. So my local team, though, is the LA Galaxy. I love the LA Galaxy. You guys are going way too fast for me to keep up. But, all right. Guillaume, again, sorry if I'm butchering your screen name, asks, what's my favorite actual rock metal band and favorite bass player? I think, well, the first metal band I probably ever really listened to, aside from Metallica, was probably Anthrax, and I definitely like me some Anthrax. Having said that, favorite bass players, I'm not, my style of bass playing doesn't necessarily lend itself, as I see it, to the metal genre so much. I'm kind of a converted guitarist, but even with that, I was never necessarily a good guitarist. My start was on violin, and I was classically trained, and then when I got tired of playing violin after a bunch of years, I kind of started learning the basics on guitar, and from there switched to bass and taught myself both of those. So I'm not necessarily a very technical player on either guitar or bass. I'm more of a feel or ear player. And so with that, I've always really loved kind of the stuff that guys like Paul McCartney do melodically on bass, or things that they do. Even Adam from U2, I feel, always has done a really good job feel-wise of connecting what's going on rhythmically with the drums with what's going on guitar. So that's my favorite kind of playing, I think. And maybe that's my favorite kind of playing just because I'm not technical enough to do any ripping solos. All right. Jack One asks, will we ever play Robot Boy live? I hope so. I would definitely hope so. I don't think we don't have any plans to as of now, but I think that would be a really fun challenge to try to pull that off. If you're familiar with the song, there's a lot going on vocally. I think it would require Joe and I to sing a lot of different harmonies with Mike and Chester, and that would be fun. And sound-wise, there's a lot of really cool stuff going on in that song that would be a good, difficult challenge to pull off live. It'd be fun to play it live. All right. Junior Kenji asks, and I think this might be a common question. Can we expect a heavier sound for the new album? I don't know. I feel like questions like that are definitely determined by what your taste or opinions in music is. So there's really no easy answer as far as a yes or a no. If to you heavy means a distorted PRS guitar through a Mesa Boogie amplifier, if that for you means heavy, then I think the answer would probably be no. If heavy means aggressive vocals, then yes, maybe. Maybe not. We're working on a lot of different stuff that are kind of riding the line on different things like that. So I don't really know how to answer that. But having said that, there's definitely a lot of music that I would be excited to play in a live setting, music that kind of will translate with a strong live energy to it so far that we've worked on. So that's fun. That's exciting for me. All right. Junie asks, tell us about Rob. I'd love to tell you about Rob. Rob is our drummer. He's a very nice guy. What else can I tell you about Rob? He's a dry sense of humor. He's generally quiet and reserved, but don't mistake his lack of speaking for a lack of deep thinking. Kind of sounds like a fortune cookie, but still there? Yeah. But Rob's awesome. Great drummer too. How many songs? Lukey9875 asks, how many songs have we written so far? Currently, I don't know what the tally is. I would guess upwards of 40 or 50. But we're focused right now on, I would say, maybe 15 to 20 that we're working on. And so those are, then still writing new ideas in the process. And those 15 to 20 that we're working on are ones where we're just finessing them. Some of them are closer to finish than others. Some of them still need a lot of work to get to a place where we'd be really excited about them. But all of those ideas at this point have at least something in them that we're excited about. Sebastian LP says, Dave, sing for us, please. Maybe in a little bit. We'll see if we can work up to that. A lot of questions as far as will we release Live in Red Square DVD? We don't have any plans to. I think that's turned out to be a really cool and special performance. But as far as I know at the moment, I don't think there's any plans to release it on DVD. I think can't you just watch it online? Do people still release DVDs? Okay, I'm gonna pull down the bottom here. Static Zero asks, and the question being, is this Wayne Static? It probably is. Asking, any chance for a Snacks reunion? I know Wayne is a huge Snacks fan, even going back to the Tasty Snacks days. If you do your homework, you'll know that the Snacks singer is Mark Fiore, and if you do more of your homework, you'll know that Mark Fiore is our videographer. And so he is so bogged down with constantly creating and editing and putting together new content for specifically you guys that is just squashing the possibility of a reunion. So having said that, you should find a way to get in contact with Mark and ask him if he's going to do it. that would be your answer. How do I spend my time while touring? Asks Cheula. I think playing shows, traveling a little bit, trying to eat here and there, getting a workout. If it's nice outside, maybe try and get in around a golf every once in a while. All pretty exciting stuff. Exciting. Christina asks, what would you have become if not a musician? Easy. I would have probably been either a power forward or a center for the Lakers. Although right now I'm not really. I won't go there. We'll just say that. And also, if I wasn't a musician, I'd probably be 7 feet tall. As it is right now, I'm only 6'5", so do with that what you will. Beer Freak asks, what happens in the TV series The Bachelor? I don't know it. Great question. Basically, 20 to 25 single women get put in a house with a single guy, and he tries to choose or narrow down to eventually get to the point where he proposes to someone, proposes for marriage. Now, granted, and understandably so, the marriages don't ever really happen on average, but it's the process of watching the drama unfold that really makes it captivating television. Well worth your while. Luckily for you guys outside the U.S., or hopefully, if you're lucky, we'll start exporting some of that show to you so you can be able to partake in The Bachelor and really experience some quality television. Oh, Purnama asks, what was it like when Ted filled your place at the Bangkok show? That, if you haven't heard or you don't know what that question's about, we were going to be traveling from Singapore to Bangkok to play a show in Thailand, and getting ready to leave, I had some crazy illness come over me. I don't know, honestly, if I've ever been as sick, but I had gotten to the point where I don't know if I drank some bad water or if I just got some kind of a bug or what was going on, but anyway, I ended up being out of commission, sick for probably 2 days, where I just literally couldn't even get out of the bed. And so we kind of reached the point where we had never done it before, but instead of canceling the show, we had my bass tech, Ted, play the show. And that way, you know, the fans could still see the show and everything could go on. The show must go on. So it was actually turned out to be really, really cool. Ted's a great guy, and he did an awesome job from what I hear and from what I've seen on video from it. And the show was able to carry forward, and I was able to sleep and get better. And it all worked out. But it was fun. It was cool to be able to have him do that. And hopefully I will be back soon to Bangkok myself to be able to play. And for those of you that went to that show, hopefully you are excited about the fact that you got to see kind of a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I don't think there's ever been a show prior to that where Linkin Park played without the entire unit there. That might be the only time that that's ever happened. Good stuff. Okay, moving forward. The Nameless asks, why do they call you Phoenix? Basically, it was a bad nickname that stuck. That's the short version. It comes from the Ben Stiller movie Mystery Men. It's just a funny scene in there, that movie, where he's trying to impress a girl and ends up just kind of looking like an idiot. And in the process, he gives himself the nickname Phoenix to somehow that name came to me and ended up sticking, for better or for worse. I always say that I could have gotten stuck with a nickname that isn't necessarily sound good or doesn't seem cool, but the reality of it is it was never supposed to be a cool thing. Tula, who have a second question from Tula. It's in blue on my screen, just picked it out. What do you guys think about the fakes pretending to be me and the other guys on Twitter? To be honest, I don't really care. I don't think about it that much. I think the only way I would care is if people were actually confused or believed something that they were saying, but I think that at this point, most people on Twitter know what's going on, and those people are just kind of messing around, wasting their time. Which brings us to a point I had said on Twitter that maybe on the chat I could answer even a question or two on Twitter. So I'm going to open my little Twitter app here, and you guys who are on Twitter, thank you for your great questions and things that you do for us there. Rositza Ivanova asks, let's see, any plans for fan-involved projects in this year? You know what? That's a great question. I'm going to actually segue that into something that I really care about. We do have some fan-involved projects, and it's not necessarily what you're asking. I don't know. What you're asking is probably like what we did with the album last time, and we haven't developed anything yet because we don't know what the album shape's going to be yet to figure something out like that. However, we do need fan involvement when it comes to Music for Relief and the work we're doing there. We've partnered with the United Nations this year. The Secretary General, who's the head of the United Nations, has basically named 2012 to be the year of sustainable energy for all. So what that means is that they're going to be doing, and us alongside them, we're going to be trying to do a lot of work to bring sustainable energy to areas where they might not have access to regular energy. So our first project is solar lighting in Haiti. And for those of you guys who don't know, Haiti for me is a spot that I really have become passionate about. It's maybe a 2-hour flight roughly from the southern tip of Florida in the United States, and yet only 25% of the people that live in Haiti have access to the power grid. So what that means is there's about 8 million people living within 2 hours of the United States that are using kerosene lamps to light their houses at night, and it's just crazy. They have no access to proper energy channels, a lot of times proper sanitation, etc. So go to powertheworld.org, and you can check out all the information on why it's important, why I think it's important to be involved in helping out there. In addition, that project's going to be moving to other places all around the world, but starting in Haiti, at least for us. And with a $10 donation, if you can afford that, that will afford the opportunity to give a solar-powered light to one family in Haiti. And even if you can't afford that, then just like you guys have been so awesome at in the past, you can spread the information in the news about what's going on to your friends using Twitter, using Facebook, using all of your blogs, all of your outlets, and just let people know that this is a real issue. You know, with lighting, medical centers have better opportunity to function later and more effectively with electricity. In addition, students can study in the evenings, children can play. Areas in camps and in homes are safer for women and children to be able to even walk to a bathroom without it being pitch black and without having to worry about violence or any kind of predators, sexually related predators, anything like that. So that's a long answer to a short question, but the point is powertheworld.org. Check it out, read up on it, get informed. That's your Twitter question. Let's get back to chat chat questions. Whoops, sorry. Bam! Shirley Saya asks, have you ever injured yourself in an LP concert? Yes, but not too badly. I've sprained my ankle, and it's actually, you can see me do it on the Live in Texas DVD. At first, when I saw that they had included that in there, I was like, oh, that's kind of weird to just see me roll my ankle, but I did hurt my ankle pretty badly, ligament-wise. I didn't break anything, luckily. On that note, Chester has hurt himself badly, broken his wrist before in a concert in Australia. And to Chester's credit, we were 2 songs or maybe 3 songs into the show, and he continued to finish the set, which was another probably hour and 15 minutes with his just kind of holding his hand like this in a sling, as it was literally, it wasn't compound, so there wasn't bone sticking out, but you could see like the bend in the arm, kind of like that. And it was nasty. I think you can see footage of that somewhere on YouTube too. You can see him breaking his wrist. Is there a difference? Nadine asks if there's a difference between European and American fans. I assume, Nadine, that you mean aside from their geographical location. The difference? Sorry, it's a terrible joke. In general, there's differences but similarities everywhere we play with fans. Just in how, in a live setting, how they kind of react or move to music. The U.S. tends to be, a tight press or squash up in the front, some sort of like a pit or a moshing area. European tends to be more up and down movement, jumping and things like that, as opposed to like side to side. But in general, we've been really fortunate to find that our fans all over the world, including Europe, including the U.S., including South America, including Asia, including Australia. Now, somebody's going to be saying you didn't say where I'm from, but everywhere where we are able to play, we find that our fans are awesome and really supportive, and we do appreciate that. Pranama asks, how's your relationship with Siri? Not good, Pranama. I could actually give you a demonstration right now. We could do some Siri time on the phone. I think I'll spare you from that. But she doesn't. I don't think Siri really understands me. And if she does, she doesn't like to answer my questions in any type of a helpful manner. That's all we'll say about that. All right. Teresa asks, what do I think if I watch back to the time of Hybrid Theory? I think, like, for me, Hybrid Theory is, it's fun because I get to kind of look back and see a snapshot of where I was at back then. I still love that record. I think, every now and then listening to it, or I still enjoy playing the songs live. And it's a great record. And seeing, I think all 6 of us would say without a doubt that there's an aspect of watching yourself from, at this point, there's probably footage in there that's 13 years old, roughly. Maybe not that old. Maybe 11 or 12 years old. But regardless, it's a long time. So you kind of tend to think like, that wasn't a good decision. Like either what I'm doing there or wearing or writing or et cetera, et cetera. Maybe 10 years from now, I'll look back and I'll say, this hat I'm wearing right now, what was I thinking? Who wears, well, this shirt's kind of awesome. I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of UCLA colors. It doesn't necessarily come across, but it's like a gold, blue and gold in there. Go Bruins. All right. Bam. Sorry, I'm just making noises for you. You guys have a lot of good questions. Lots of good questions. Karen 1 asks, do you meditate? Not really. Not regularly. I stretch. I like to exercise. Music for me is somewhat of a form of meditation. Read. Reading can be meditative. Okay, moving on. Marco LP says, please. Yeah. Michelangelo says 3. Sandra asks, did you enjoy 1,000 Suns? The answer is yes. The question I have for you guys is, can I outlast you on this chat? If I were to just stay here and talk for hours on end, or just sit here, or I could just do this. Oh, you're still asking a lot of questions. Let's take a Twitter question. What's her name asks or says, I'm missing chat with Phoenix. I'm going to reply, no, you're not. What do you guys think about that? Riveting. All right, a couple more, and then I think I have to go. Oh, Mark. Is the new, James Cruz asks, is the new album more experimental than 1,000 Suns? I honestly wish I could answer some of these questions intelligibly, but the album's still being worked on, so it's difficult. So bear with me, but I will try to answer as well as I can and give you as much information as is possible. Having said that, there's elements of what we've done writing the new record, I think, that are more experimental than 1,000 Suns. Just in our writing process and in what we're experimenting with as far as structuring of songs, things like that. Not to get too technical into the weeds of songwriting, but in certain ways, yes. But I don't see this record as something that's necessarily tied in with green juice. Oh. I don't see this record as something that's necessarily directly related to 1,000 Suns. It's kind of a different direction. So I think it's different than that. I don't think it's easily comparable to 1,000 Suns for me so far. Teresa asks, are you proud of the new album so far? Right? Again, yeah, it's still a work in progress, but I think rather than proud of it, at this point I'd say I'm excited. I think there's some aspects to it and in general that I'm eagerly expectant to see how it turns out, and I'm definitely excited about it. I'm excited about getting to a point where people can hear it. I'm excited about you guys hearing it, giving your feedback. Yeah, I think it'll be really cool. Rydell Right, Yol, when will you play Somewhere I Belong from the Inside and Other Great Songs live again? We always try to just blend in different old stuff with things that we're doing. I think on the last, I believe on our last touring cycle, we were mixing in from the inside here and there into the set lists on different nights, maybe like every 2 or 3 nights we'd play it just to do something different. And yeah, so we'll definitely sprinkle in those songs, and Somewhere I Belong and From the Inside in particular are 2 songs that we definitely will still play, still like playing. Let me get into that a little bit, to explain it a little bit, if you don't mind. When we're working on a set, or we're coming up with what we want to play live, there's a tug between playing songs that people really know, songs that are maybe not radio songs, that people still, have favorites or love, versus playing new songs, so that people are being able to see you perform songs that they've never gotten to see before. It makes it, a new experience and a new show. There's this balance, and so we're always trying to find a way to, night to night, keep ourselves engaged and excited and fresh with what we're doing, but also to be able to create somewhat a good blend between older stuff and really popular kind of radio songs that people get excited about, and new stuff, and kind of more rarities that maybe not everybody in the crowd has heard or knows. So there's like a balancing act or a tug between trying to blend all that. I think sometimes, we definitely put a lot of thought into it and do our best to make the live show the best we can. Yep. I don't know if that... Sometimes I think if I was watching myself, I wouldn't really make sense to myself. Steffi asks, your favorite book? You'd have to give me a genre. I like to read a lot of different styles of books. I'll give you some examples. I just read Ultra Marathon Man by Dean Karnazarian. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that was an awesome book about a guy who runs ultra marathons and ultra distances, anything over 50 miles, and that was amazing and great. I've also been reading the Game of Thrones series, which, as far as kind of a fantasy series or whatever, for lack of better terms, I find really well written and compelling, exciting to read. There's 2 off the top of my head. Zen Golf. It's a great book. Hillary asks, why did LP only play 2 shows in Canada for the last tour? Hillary, thank you. That is a wonderful question. I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you care. I am half Canadian. Go figure. I would love to get in Canada more. I love playing up there. We need to tour more in Canada. I think that's the point. That's what we're agreeing on right now, is Linkin Park needs to tour more in Canada. At least that's what I think you're saying with your question. And so I'm going to go ahead and say true, and hopefully it works out on this touring cycle for us to get up there a lot more than we have in the past. You know what? I don't think we've ever even been to, like, have we ever even played in Vancouver? I don't know if we're East or West Canada. Enough on that. Suffice to say, I agree with you. RVI asks, have I ever read To Kill a Mockingbird? The answer is yes. I read that in high school. Good book. Do you guys just want me to do book reports? Is anyone reading a book that they want me to give a synopsis of? No? Okay. All right, couple more questions, and we'll go from there. And by go, I mean literally go. Ooh, I like that one. Claire McFearless, do you change the creative or brainstorming process at all with each album? The answer is a resounding yes. We don't really have a process, meaning a set way that we approach it. And so we've come to find that with each record, the process that kind of comes about always ends up being different. The process actually, which has been really fun on this record, has been that we never left the studio after A Thousand Suns, really. We never left that mental mode of really trying to creatively get ideas out and work on music. And anytime we've been home between tours, anything like that, we've been in the studio and been writing and just continuing to get ideas out. So in the process, we've seen kind of this different type of organic movement, I think, in the ideas that were coming into the studio and the ideas that were being written. And we were able to really have a lot more time and discussion over what we were writing, what we were working on in the process. I think it's turned out to be really cool. Scroll to the bottom here to get some. Shinoda Dork. I love your screen name. That that might actually just be Mike sending me in a text. Anyway, Mike, or Shinoda Dork, asks, favorite UFC fighter? Definitely an Anderson Silva fan. But who isn't? Let's see. I think I'm going to probably end up leaning really Brazilian on this one. Like, Dos Santos is awesome, and I think he's going to pound on Overeem, just my opinion. GSP, give a nod to Canada, is undeniably one of the best of all time. And I think there's a whole new wave or whole new crop of guys coming up, the younger generation, that are more athletic, John Jones included. They're just they're younger, bigger, stronger, faster guys who just wouldn't necessarily be doing MMA in the past, but now MMA is actually getting a lot of elite athletes coming into the sport, and that changes things a lot. So, yeah, those are a couple of my favorites. Happy birthday to Dino 1. Bam. Lily asks, could you make a giveaway with your cap? Yes. I don't know what we do or how we would do that, but I definitely could do that. Allison Jameson asks, has any member of LP walked out of a studio session? If you mean in anger or frustration, as opposed to just needing to go home, yeah, I'd say definitely so. I mean, we're 6 guys and we all have strong opinions, and we all need to basically agree on something before it passes. So yeah, we have our moments. But I think one thing that's really nice about the band, about the group of guys, is that we've been together for a long time, and in that process, you either really grow together and kind of become somewhat of a family, or you have frictions that kind of push you apart, and that's where you see bands that really don't even want to talk to each other. It's understandable if you don't respect someone or get along with someone, and you're forced to do that much, for lack of that much time together, then that's easily to see where that goes. But luckily in our case, 6 of us are really close, and that makes what we do a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable for sure. I think it improves or betters the end product with our music as well. We all respect one another and respect each other's opinions. And when we do criticize something, I think, if someone criticizes what I've done or what I've worked on, it can be hard to hear at first, but behind it all and at the end of the day, I know that they're not just trying to hurt my feelings. I know that they're really coming from a place where they would like to also enjoy the song or enjoy what we've been working on, and they're just trying to make it better. So, yeah, me. All right, 2 more. You guys have been awesome. I was expecting this to be a little more chaotic in the chat room, but I'm very pleasantly surprised. Been actually great questions. I think I've said it in the past before, but fans obviously know what they want to know, and so you guys really do ask the best questions. All right. Apparently I am supposed to congratulate. Oh, I just lost it. I was going to congratulate somebody on their birthday, and I just lost it. Amy says you make old people noises. Thank you, Amy. I probably do. I am an old person. Those are my thinking noises. That's what I call it. I definitely make noises. But I've embraced it. I like that about myself. Alex says, violins, will you use them in the new album? Yeah, I think we will. I think we definitely will try to. There's some different spots where we're talking about working out some orchestration, or who knows? I could try out some stuff, or violin or cello, or see what happens. Kayla, shout out to you. Bam. Okay, I'm looking for one question for the last question. Becca asks, do I like cats? Perfect. Great last question. I love cats. I've always loved cats. I'm a big cat person. Having said that, where I live I can't have cats because if they get outside they'll get eaten by mountain lions. Also, I don't like seeing cats all over the internet. If you're ever on, if you were to go to Instagram and look at some of the most popular pictures, a lot of times you'll see cats. If you go to YouTube, you'll see cats doing videos of rolling around or laughing or writing, or a cat band, or cats covering Devo. At a certain point, hopefully this year, that will kind of putter out. I don't see it actually happening, but that would be my wish for 2012. And I think that officially, okay, one more. We'll do one more question, but that officially tells me, when I'm talking about cats online, that tells me that I'm probably done chatting because I'm starting to get a little bit off topic. Let's bring it back, though. Speaking of off topic, a couple things. One, these are the list of things I'm excited about right now. One, first and foremost, the Power of the World Initiative, Music for Relief. Poweroftheworld.org is what you need to visit to get, for lack of a better term, educated or informed on what we're doing and why. Go check it out. Tell your friends, please. Get involved. That would be awesome, and I thank you in advance for that. 2, we are working on a record. I can't tell you when we're going to release it because I don't know. It's not done. Having said that, we're doing our best to put in as much time as we possibly can and to get it out as soon as it is ready. We're touring soon. I'm excited about that. So keep a lookout at linkinpark.com for tour dates. LPU is awesome, in my opinion, hopefully in your opinion as well. Adam is awesome at LPU. Adam's probably not even watching anymore. What else can I tell you? I think that's it. So one last question. Great. Dia, headphones on stage. Why do you need this? Bam, I think you're thinking about Brad. He wears headphones. Protect his hearing. If you're talking about the little things that you see me wear, those are called in-ear monitors, and they're so I can hear what's going on. As far as the stage, they kind of they do 2 things. One, they make it really, really quiet. They're like earplugs, so I can't hear all the ambient noise. And 2, they can control what I am hearing, so I can, they can adjust for me to hear more Rob, hear more Mike, hear more different things here and there of what I need to be able to, for all of us to hear one another and play together like that. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it. If you have any other questions, and if you're on Twitter, shoot me them there. I probably won't answer them. But it's not because I don't love you, it's just because I don't see them usually. And other times because I don't necessarily have a ton of time to answer them all. But I do my best. I appreciate it, and see you soon. Beta.